Hi. So usually an episode does start with a cute little snippet from within the episode to get you excited about listening to the whole thing. But because this episode ended up being so unique and special, I wanted to give a quick intro before the actual intro to say, when I cut an episode, usually I make about like 20, 30, even 40 cuts to get it to all flow together. But I didn't make any cuts in this episode. Because as I was watching, I realized that listening and looking at Kevin, you can see his thoughts as he's planning them and hear the way he sees the world in everything he says. And I didn't want to cut any of it out. I was so moved in rewatching our interview and seeing what a special view he has of the world and how honest he is and giving of himself. It was really kind of amazing. I'm so excited for you to watch it, knowing that you're getting completely uncut, unfiltered Kevin. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Talking and Stuff with Georgia Van C. Me. This is a podcast for young people to talk about stuff. Real stuff, funny stuff, honest stuff, silly stuff, confusing stuff, and tricky stuff. Thank you for joining us. We love having you here. Oh, one important note before we get started. As the daughter of Sri Lankan and English immigrants to Australia and now also American citizen, I would like to acknowledge and send my gratitude to the traditional stewards of the land on which we get to produce this episode of Talking and Stuff, the Tongvan people, who call this land Tovanga, which means the world. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and celebrate the profoundly important history and culture they bring to my new home. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Mejia. I'm 16, and I would like to go to Japan because of my love for cars and everything. It would be really cool to see the culture and see like a lot of like the origins and history behind that.
That's really cool. So I know how much you love cars, but talk to everybody about your love for cars. Where did that come from?
Well, when I was little, I would be with my dad a lot because my mom would be busy with my little sister Kaylee, and I would usually help my dad ever since I was little, like holding the light, like giving him the tools.
Also, he fixes cars?
Yeah, like not as a job, but like, you know, like he helps out his friends and everything. Like someone's like, oh, I need like an oil change, or like this thing's not working with my car. He would be like, oh yeah, like let me fix it for you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good to have a friend like that. Your dad must have been very popular.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd help him out even when you were young?
Yeah, like I guess now it's more like classes for me. Like he would be fixing something and I would just be like staring and like trying to like understand like the material that he's like trying to like fix or whatever. And yeah, I guess like my whole life has been like revolved like around cars.
Wow, it makes a lot of sense. So I know your plan for your future, but tell me about what is the goal for you ultimately for your work and career and passion?
For me, it's mostly like my plan isn't just to be like some mechanic, like some like auto body repair shop down the street. It would be to create like my own car company, like I don't know, like a Ferrari, like that type of origin story of just like being like a pioneer and like doing their own thing.
Okay, so you are going to be a pioneer in cars. Do you look at all the cars that are out on the street right now? What is going to be different about the cars that you create?
I feel like looks, because I feel like that's kind of like what takes away like a lot about the car, because I feel like there's good cars out there, but they're just like not looking the best, or they just have like some sort of stigma towards them already. And so I feel like I would like to create a company that's like all around. Like it wouldn't just be like sports cars only. It would be also like just like regular cars, like civilian cars, just like, you know, regular things, or just trucks and everything. It wouldn't just be specified to one. Like,
but it's going to look a certain way.
Yeah, it's going to look a certain way.
Okay, so I have to ask, because unfortunately we can't get you to design a car right now.
Yes.
But if you had to, and you could own any car out there right now, like, because I already feel like you're like, none of them are as good as my cars. But what would be that car that you'd be willing to own and drive that's out there right now?
I don't know, like, there's a lot, like, like if I wanted to do like something like it's more realistic, like I could afford, and like something like I could probably have in a couple of years, it would be Camaro ZL11LE.
I'll have to look that up later.
Because it's just like, I feel like it's really underrated. Like, I feel like it's not bought as much as most other cars, and I feel like it's something that like I could stick with, and like I wouldn't like trade it in the next day just because I get bored. Like, I feel like it's something that represents me.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like that. What I like also is you were practical and went with like what I can afford. Now I'm going to give you the keys, not to the car, but like to the world. If money was no option, what is that car?
I would say probably like a Pagani Zonda R, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of Italian cars look good.
Yeah.
And like they have that type of like look to it that like, you know, it's like fast and it's like high status to have one. And I would like to have that one day. So.
Nice. We're setting goals here.
Yeah.
But of course you'll have your own car.
Yeah.
Do you have a name picked out for your car company?
Probably be like my last name. Probably be Mejia.
Oh, that's a good car brand name. I never thought about this before. What do you drive? A Mejia. I can see myself saying that. I'm gonna get myself a Mejia when they're out. I'll be like, I knew Kevin. I knew the Mejia of Mejia when he was just a little Mejia. Well, you've always been, literally since we've known each other, you've been bigger than me. But, you know, little, like high school little. Okay, so you're in high school, and we know that you're gonna take over the car world.
Yeah.
But talk to me a little bit about high school. Where do you go to school?
I go to Brio College Prep, downtown.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you like going to that school?
Well, the thing is, like, I like that there's a community. There's like a type of space to it. There's a lot of like people with the same type of background, same type of like origins. But like it being a school, like the facilities are kind of like small-ish. So like there's no like real funding for like sports or anything. It's more like school.
Yeah.
And even then it's kind of like low on that. But I feel like it's a good space. Like everybody wants to learn. Everybody's like at least kind of invested in their future. And yeah, it's like good in some places.
Yeah. Do you have many friends that go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ton.
So talk to me about what friendship means to you.
Friendship means family to me. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't have relatives, and I feel like I want to become that type of friend to be like, well, I got your back, like no matter what, like I'm gonna still be here or whatever. Because I feel like I get that from my dad, that I really want to be like him. Because even though there are some people that like that like didn't treat him as well, he still was kind, and like they changed for the better. And I feel like to have that many friends at his age, it would be like the best thing. But, yeah.
How beautiful. And I gotta say, we've known each other for a while, and you are always kind, always respectful, thoughtful. There's never been a moment in me knowing you where I didn't actually perceive you to be like that. So it's working. That's so good to know. And it's nice to know, like when you meet someone, you get to know them and you think I think great things about you, and then you learn that they're actually modeling like their father and wanting to be like, it even makes it even more special. I love that. That just made my heart go happy. Okay, so your mom and dad and your little sister, that's the family?
Yeah, that's her family, yeah.
And talk to me about your family. What do you love about them? What drives you crazy about them?
Well, first it's how close we are. Cause just me and my sister, it's already a close connection that both we share the same like type of personality. Like, sure, she's more talkative, but that's cause she has me as her friend, like someone who she can talk to. And I feel like that's helped her like a lot, not to like start off like me when I was little. And then my dad and me, like, we're super close. Although he did go out with his friends now and then, just like to hang out, needed his time like alone. Like, I was still there, like just playing with him, like I would still have that type of connection of like father and son, like the whole time.
Yeah.
And then my mom, well, she's always been there. She's always been helping me out. Go to school, go to sporting events, go to Here to Pal, a ton of places. She's helped me a lot.
I love that. I saw a picture of your family last year at Christmas, and I got like a little teary because I know you all, but I've just never seen the four of you together looking so happy. And it really, like everything you just described struck me in that picture. I was like, this is a strong, loving family. And it was so nice. So I never, that's weird to like tell you that I saw a picture of you, but I did, and it made me really happy. You said something that made me intrigued. You said that Kaylee is talkative and she has you there, and it's not like when you were a kid. Talk to me about what that meant for you. Like, did it feel different for you when you were her age?
When I was little, it was only my parents that I had as like friends, because we used to live in a house where it was just adults hanging out, and there was no neighbors to play around with. There was no kids, and my mom didn't let me go out, like hang out with friends yet, because back then the language barrier would be like a lot to the whole family, because I would also be the first person to learn English, and I don't know, it was kind of like delayed, I guess, because I would learn still in kindergarten, like how to like learn and everything. And I don't know, like there was just a lot of like loneliness when I was a little kid. And sure, it wasn't like that bad, but I feel like Kaylee's in a better place where like she has friends around, she has people she can go hang around with, and I feel like it's better to have a more social life as a little kid than to be like, just like waiting around playing with yourself. And, being alone.
That's not as good.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing so honestly about that. That's makes me want to ask a few more questions. Is that okay about that? So obviously you talk about it like it's in the past.
Yeah.
And you share that you have friends at school now. What did it feel like to finally sort of have friends and have people that outside of, because I love, it sounds like you had a happy family, but you just felt a little bit alone sometimes. What did it feel like to add to that circle of people that you could turn to?
I felt like it was just more expressive. Like I feel like I changed as a person like when I started having friends, because the first couple like school years I felt kind of lonely, and try to like change myself to like be a better person, or not be a better person, but like change just to be like more sociable and like try and be someone like I'm not. And then after a while, I think it was like around 4th grade when I met, or I call them the twins, they're Mateo and Diego, and they helped me express what I couldn't express before. Like they gave me a space where I could just like nerd out with them. Like I could just talk about like any nerdy type of stuff I wouldn't like have anybody like to talk about. And it was just fun for like, I think 4 school years. We were always hanging out every summer, always going to places, arcades. And until we had to go to high school, we had to separate. But by that point, I became a more social person and more confident. And I feel like that was part of like what Pal helped me do. Because like, I feel like from the start, like from kindergarten, I was really like shy and quiet, and like it was really bad. But now I feel like all these programs help me out to be a better person and be more confident in myself and my skills.
That was a good advertisement for Pal right there. That was pretty good. But also for the twins. I love the twins.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you found them, and I bet they loved you just as much and were grateful that you were in their life. And sometimes we need to meet that 1 or 2 people that go, I accept you for your nerdy self. What was the stuff you liked nerding out on? I have to know because I'm a nerd, so.
It's a lot. Usually it would just be like Marvel, DC, sometimes some like anime stuff like Naruto, mostly. But it would just be like a lot of stuff, like pop culture in general, just like anything that would happen.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. So obviously you have friends now. You also, I believe, you are secretly admiring somebody. Do you also have a secret admirer, do you think?
Yeah.
What's your secret admirer's name?
Yearly.
I can hear her laughing over there. That's amazing. So I love that you guys have each other as friends or secret admirers. We're gonna go with. What's it like to have a friend like that in your life?
I feel like it's better to have that type of person than to be like independent, because I feel like you have someone that always has your back, always supports you in whatever you do, and there's someone that like understands you for who you are. And it's kind of that type of like connection of like the twin sort of, where you just can be yourself around that person and just like do whatever you want, basically.
It is unbelievable when you meet someone that just says, yeah, you. Like, I'm not trying to change you, just you.
Yeah.
It's, believe me, it's taken a lot longer than my high school years to find that person. So you are very lucky to have secret admirers at this age. That is a brilliant thing. It makes me very happy. Okay, so not to make you blush anymore. We'll move on, I promise. Because I can see, like, even I'm like, oh, you're getting a bit flushed here. If you could change anything about the world, like I gave you a box and in the box was a key to change something, and it would be forever, not just for a day, what would you choose to change?
I feel like it would be negative people, because I feel like growing up, what set me back was people who would make fun of me or just like be rude and like really like negative in like spaces, because I feel like that doesn't let you express yourself the way you want to. Because I feel like in school it would be fine, I would be hanging out with my friends, and then someone would say something, and then it would just like the space would be so like negative and controlled a little bit, and it wouldn't be the same.
When that happens, does it almost like, I'm not meaning to put it, I wonder, let's say that, I wonder, does it like make you almost go back to being the shyer, quieter person when people say negative things?
Slightly. Like what I've learned is just like to not care, because I feel like what I used to do was just care so much about that it would make me shy, and then I would just go back to being like the quiet kid, and like I just start acting the same way. But by not caring, I would just like be the same person, and people in the same space would like open up and like follow in my footsteps.
Oh, that's so it's amazing that not only are you not taking it personally, but you're seeing how when you don't let negativity affect you, you can be like a leader in that way.
Yeah.
Because I think like you become what you hang around with, right? So if everyone got insecure, then you would too, but you're like leading the way.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I love that you're doing that. Why do you think people do that? Why do you think people feel a need to like just, I was gonna say the S word, but that's probably not appropriate right now. Be negative all over people.
I think the same thing. They had people in their lives who would be negative and just have them in a really small space that they couldn't like reach out. And I feel like at the end of the day, they would also be that quiet kid, that kid who would just be like shy all the time, who probably like had some type of like event happen to them, or just like they're just that way.
Yeah, it's almost like they want to see other people feel the way they feel because they don't understand their world well enough to change. Wow. Okay. That's good. You're a deep human being. You know that? I'm kind of impressed by you. So, You have done something that 99% of the human race will never do. Finally, I use the term race. That's amazing for what I'm about to say. You have run how many marathons?
I think just one LA marathon.
Oh, just one. It's just one. You've only done it once.
Yeah.
Run 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
I love it. We will just take the just out of that. How about we do that? So you have run one LA marathon, which 99% of the population will never do. What was it like to run a marathon?
Well, leading up to that moment, I had a lot of support from friends and family, and it felt really good. It felt like I wasn't just running just for fun. It felt like I was running with some type of purpose, and I don't really know that purpose, but it felt accomplishing. Like when I finally got to like the finish line and I finished it, and I don't know, like it felt like there was nothing that could stop me. Like there was this type of feeling where I felt like I could do a lot of things that no one else would do. Like I'm 16, just ran a marathon, and there's like people many ages who wouldn't want to do it. And then this type of space that was in, it opened up the doors to like a lot of people, and I felt included, and somehow I felt like special in that type of space.
Yeah, it is extraordinarily special what you did. I remember seeing you the week before, and you had this look on your face like, am I actually doing this? Is this actually gonna happen? Like, it's the best way to describe you. When I was like, how you feeling? You were just like, I think I'm gonna run a marathon.
Yeah.
So to know you went from that to doing it, and having done a marathon a few before, I know that feeling when you finish, and there's this moment where you're like, I think I can do anything. Yeah. Because you realize how hard it was to get to that point. And then you're like, yeah, it's going to be hard to find something that I can't do now, because unfortunately I know I can push myself like that, right? It opens up doors, like you said, not only to people like this one did, and new friends and community, but it really does kind of, you can't trick yourself anymore and be like, oh, that seems a bit hard. You're like, yeah, a bit hard, but not as hard as that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in trouble now. You're just going to have to do everything. Anytime you come to me and be like, no, I just don't think I can do it, I'll be like, really? Because I think you can. We know now. So that's interesting. I've got one on you. Okay. When you go quiet these days, even in your quiet moments, be different to when you're younger, is there stuff that worries you that you kind of think about a lot?
I feel like when I do get quiet now, I feel like I worry sometimes that if I'm changing, or if it's the other person changing, or if it's just like something else bound to happen, or something I should have seen earlier, or I just start overthinking. And then I don't know, I feel like it feels like when you like start falling down, like you have that type of feeling of like, I just tripped, I'm falling, and how am I gonna save myself from like getting the floor? It's just like a kind of like ice ball type of effect, and then I don't know, it depends the type of situation.
I've never heard it described the way you just did, but I think if it's the same feeling I get, I would have described it as like a sinking feeling when you have a regret, or you worry about like, maybe I shouldn't have said that to that person, but like you've already said it. And that's that ice bowl, and you said like it just starts, you feel like you're like full, like that slow motion falling feeling of it's already done, it's happening, and for me, I try and stop myself from going down there. Because like there's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah.
You're already here, the thing has happened. Taking any further steps to feel a certain way is just our minds doing that to us. Sometimes I'm like, nope, don't do that. And I try and just like take myself somewhere else before I like swirl into a sad place. So I've never thought of it as like that slow motion falling, but that I get it. And I think maybe I don't want to put label. I'm an introvert, and I think when introverts get alone after a big social thing, they rethink everything, and that can just be like one big snowball of mess. So I hope that you already are learning that that's something that doesn't help. We don't need to watch the slow motion fall afterwards. The fall has already happened, and we all fall all the time in life. The amount of times I say silly things to people, I mean, you've seen it. I say silly things to you guys all the time. And then I'm like, oh, is that what I meant? Maybe not. Scratch that off the record. Okay, last question for you. This has been a really lovely chat. You can start breathing in a second. I just saw you be like, ooh. This question for you. Your 50th birthday. What does your life look like?
I don't know. I feel like it just depends how I do right now. Because if I do good in school, then I feel like my dream of like making my own like car company would be true. But if I don't, I feel like I would go more into sports and probably be like, I don't know, probably like in martial arts or probably doing marathons or basketball or soccer or any type of sport. But I don't know, I feel like it just depends.
Okay, interesting. I said it was the last question, but you said a word that always wants me to ask another question, and that was if. If I do well in school, is what you said. From what I know, you're doing pretty well in school. Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes you worry that that would change?
I feel like time would be a big factor in that, because I feel like I wouldn't have time sometimes to come over here and have enough time back at home to do all types of homework that I have, and I feel like it just, I don't know how I'm gonna like balance everything out, because I do want to continue going to martial arts, I do want to continue going to basketball, I do want to keep doing like piano pal, and then I just don't know, because I feel like it's probably gonna be like the hardest school year yet, and then I don't know how I'm gonna balance that, so I don't know.
Okay, so this is totally off script. Like, usually I'm just interviewing someone, right?
Yeah.
But because I get to be a part of your life, I want to say something to you now. And maybe for people watching and listening at home, this is an important thing for you to know as well, that there should be this permission in your life, and to find an adult that gives you that permission is important. But I'm going to say it to this guy now, because he's in my life. I want to give you permission to make sure that you have the time. All those adults and all those opportunities around you are there to make your life better, not to make your life harder. And we know that your massive goal in life is to have your own car company. And you just told me the secret, that you want to do well in school to make that happen. So it's our job as adults and your supporters and your friends to help you achieve that. So for however long you need to cash in that check, you can simply say to an adult, my most important thing is my school work right now, so how can we make sure that we do both, right? Like, you're never letting an adult down if you communicate with them and tell them that this is important to me and I need to focus on it. How can we do both? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's 100% your right to do that, because there shouldn't be any fear for you. It just should be, when you do really well at school, you can pursue that goal for yourself. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure of it now, because I heard you say it. Bad luck. I'm gonna be like, how's that time management thing going? Let's work on it. And when you don't turn up to my stuff, I'll be like, peace out, dude. Go work on your homework, because I know you want to do it. So you can always cash that in with me. You can say, sorry, Georgia, I gotta do homework tonight, and I will get it. Cool?
Yeah.
Amazing. This has been a great chat. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me. And we will say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us for Talking and Stuff with Georgia Van C. If you had a good time, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. You help us get this out to the world. If you have some stuff you want to share with the world, you can reach out to me via the email in the show description, and I would love to have you as a guest on the show. If anything you heard here brought up tricky feelings, please reach out to a grown-up who you trust and tell them how you are feeling. Or you can reach out to me via the same email in the show description, or you can comment on YouTube and I will see it. If you don't feel comfy reaching out to me or another grown-up you know, but you need some support, we recommend that you find a way to call the SAMHSA hotline, which is 1-800-662-4357. It's free and it's available to you 24/7. Thank you so much again, and bye. See you next time, or hear me next time, or I'll see you soon.